Hello and welcome back to Oh No, Not Another Podcast. We've got the usual suspects with me. Hello, Mr. Bob. How are you doing today, sir?
Very well, thank you. Great
Oh,
stuff.
that's good. You know, I know Bob is in a good mood. I have Mr. Snare with me as well.
What up, 420 Gucci gang?
And our guest tonight is a well-known player, respected captain, champion of the South African Dota, Mr. Chidowi.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, dude? You sound so enthusiastic to be on here. You know,
dude. It's an honor for me. Thank you, Kaameel.
The most exciting thing he's done today.
You're not wrong.
We're super happy to have you. You know, he might not be excited for it, but we're happy to have him.
I thought you were going to say Adestam after that introduction.
Yeah, same.
Oh. Dude, we don't have the Titan status to get Adestam on this podcast, dude. You know, maybe if we're lucky, we can get his fanboy Sargon on here, but that's the best we can do.
All right, that's
Not
what
bad.
Yeah, if we get Sargon, okay, this is what we do, right? Here's the play. First we get Sargon, right? And then we get Tenshimon, and then we say to Adam, listen, dog, you're gonna let them talk that shit about you? Come defend yourself.
No, you forgot the Coach Callisto in the line of the Adam fan club. You know, come on, you have to make it through the whole shebang, dude. The whole shebang.
Adam's like the final boss.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna ask my guest the question here. Let's hit up the big stuff, right? So for those of you who don't know, he's Chidowi, right? Captain of arguably the second most successful Dota 2 team in South Africa, White Rabbit Gaming for a long time. You won everything up. Second most successful team. So what is it like playing in that team? Like, what was the difference when you went from? I mean, that was the introduction. Let me ask you this question straight up, brother. What was it when you guys were still striving to beat that Bravado team? What is it like before you beat them to after, let's say, the first time you beat the game?
Bravado. I was like 6 years ago. Or maybe like 4 years ago. I don't know. It was weird. It was still when Doms was in the team and stuff. I think we was like trying to beat them. And then one day we just like snapped when we got Whelp, and like games just started going better. And after that, I just felt like we could never lose again.
I mean, you guys didn't lose again, right? You guys haven't dropped the game. Like, you disbanded now and haven't dropped the game.
Rip WRG.
Rip. Oh, actually, would you guys stay together if Castaway still stayed?
Probably. I think so. But yeah, it's not just about that. There's a lot of other reasons that I can't really go into. But yeah.
Oh, dude, that's why you're on it.
That's why you're on it. We brought you on.
We can't put you in a snitch.
Yes, dude. That's nice.
It's pretty fun at the new squad though, like for real. It's like really, really nice playing a new role as well. I enjoyed quite a lot.
Yeah, you're playing offlane for how long?
Like 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
So on the previous WRG team, right? Who was your actual? Actually, let me not even ask on WRG, just more broadly. Who's the best player you've played with, in your opinion?
Whelp. Yeah, hands down, yeah. He's like good at every role, so it makes it really easy to play with him. You could take him to any team and just chuck him in any role, and he'd just like succeed.
Yeah, it's funny because like the rest of the SA community kind of use like Castaway and stuff as the best player, but if you ask any of the WRG guys, they're all just like, no, well, even Castaway, you say, no, well, that's your guy.
It's like, Castaway is like the face of Dota, I guess, in SA, because he was like big on social media as well. But this was like a really great player. But like Whelp is, he's dependable, you know.
So what separates Whelp from like anybody else that you played with?
Like raw skill, I guess.
Particular?
I think it's just raw skill. Like I think in Dota there's like talent and like hard work, and like very few people have like real talent. Most people just put in a lot of hours.
So what, in your opinion, it's just that guy was just born to wreck kids in Dota, is what you're saying?
He's decent, you know. He's not too bad.
He's alright.
Yeah, he's alright.
Cool.
All right.
Oh no, but on that category, actually, if you're saying most players, I do agree to most players who aren't actually good at this game, which is people just grind.
Yeah.
Who was the hardest working player you played with?
Hardest working, I guess, Travis Castaway. Even in the house when we didn't have tournaments and stuff, he'll still play Dota while all of us play Fortnite and stuff. So yeah, I think it'd be wrong to say anyone else.
Dedication, bro.
I mean, even now he's overseas. I believe his first day back playing Dota. Since he moved there, he played like 22 games in the first day or something.
What?
The man got no chill.
That's a lot of Dota.
I envy him. He's like in a nice place now. I think he's enjoying it a lot. Overseas, playing Dota. Playing on low ping is like an entire different ballgame.
That's interesting because we had Frank on the podcast in the last one, And then we asked him the question at the end of the podcast, like, how much difference does the ping actually make? And he says, not as big as you think. If you're bad at Dota with low ping, you're not gonna be better at Dota
if you're bad, sure.
Yeah.
But if you're good, I'm sure it makes because very often like a lot of games do come down really to the wire, and you don't know which game it'll be where that 200 ping will make the difference. That 1 second before you get off the BKB.
Yeah, that's true. Like even on this, like when we were in WSG, I think the reason why Cosway also went over and why like the team broke up is because there's no point. Like if you think like you can make it from with 200 ping, it's not possible. And I'm not just saying this because like I don't know if you guys remember the team 5A and C that used to crush us every qualifier like three times in a row.
Yeah.
And then we play on LAN, we scrim and we just like come out of lanes ahead, we win the game, scrim against other good teams, you like do really well, and it's just sad to come back and live the life.
So I think but that's something that I thought about as well. So there's like there's a pub ping, and then there's ping when you're playing competitively. Because when you got 5 people with 200 ping, it's much different compared to 1 person out of 10 with like 200 ping.
Yeah, so, that is true.
Yeah. When it comes to competitive nature, it's much harder.
No, I definitely agree with you, Bob, because in a pro game, that 1 second or like the 200 millisecond, you don't get your BKB off, that could turn the game, right? But like there was actually a stat, SG Esports, when they're just coming into the scene, a big team, when they played NA teams on on South American servers, and when they played on North American servers, they lost like 10 out of 10 games on North American servers, but on South American servers, they won like 6 out of 8 games or something like that. So it's a big difference.
It's not just the BKB, there's like a lot of different factors to it. It like influences your draft. You can't pick certain heroes, you don't want to pick certain heroes, you can't do certain lanes, certain matchups. It's like a big deal. I think the laning stage is by far the biggest.
The laning stage is the biggest.
Laning stage is the biggest, and then like super late game.
Like last heading denies is so important these days, and imagine that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, on like 100 more ping than your opponent, if not more.
Like from SA, if you play European tournaments, you can't play like late game strategies at all. I think a lot of SA teams haven't realized this. You need to like win the early game, otherwise you'll never beat the better team on Europe. It's just that simple.
What do you guys think right now about actually denies and the laning phase in particular? Do you think the emphasis is too much?
I like it.
No, I think it's really good.
I like it as well.
It's going to change eventually after TI, right? Well, what do you guys envision? What should be changed, if anything? Because they're going to change something. They're not going to leave it. I doubt they'll leave it after TI. So what should change? And what's the best possible change they can make? And what's the worst possible change they could make?
Bob, what do you reckon?
I think Beastmasters needs to be done. I think the axes are just retarded. Like the amp on the axes and the cooldown.
Yeah.
Just buff more heroes and just keep what they're doing. Keep doing what they're doing. Making more heroes viable.
I like how it is now. It feels like being skilled at the game is rewarding now. Like even just being skilled at last hitting is pretty rewarding since range creeps are important and it's like dual lanes everywhere.
Yeah,
I like it how it is.
Now it's pretty clear that you lose to a better player in the lane. It's like, oh shit, we've lost the game.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
That's really not fun right now.
Yeah, but like players like Kaameel can actually flourish and stuff between 1v1 matchups and stuff. It's funny talking about EG. Opinions on the new EG?
Top 10.
They got like 5 great players, but
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want
like
to
Germany
until they do
They're just gonna go to a slow start and they're gonna make a comeback.
Like Germany. Bob, what's your opinion of the Germany team?
Not go there, dude.
How
much time have we got? I'm just kidding. I wanted to ask a few questions about the WSG since you guys went there. I want to know like kind of what happened behind the scenes. I know you mentioned a bit about scrimming. Sure. Who did? I mean, you obviously had like one of the hardest groups out there.
Yeah,
I mean, Keen Gaming, Pain Gaming are like well-known international teams at the moment. Maybe not Keen so much, but Keen are like people don't know they're really, really good. Like, so like, how did the background go? The stuff that we didn't see. Like, did you play a lot of scrims or kind of what went down there?
Like before we went, we obviously played a lot of scrims. We had like a lot of internet issues and stuff, but not the biggest deal. When we got there, I think we got there after traveling for like 28 hours or something, so we just slept. And the next day we went up early, went to like a gaming cafe, played some pubs there, scrimmed the Aussie team like twice or 3 times. It was pretty fun. The next day we actually went to the event, and the event was like really nice because you could just walk to any booth and talk to any teams and scrim, and like people would come in and ask for scrims. And we basically just scrimmed the whole day until like lunch, scrimmed again until dinner, until we went back home. So yeah, we practiced quite a lot.
What is the most well-known team you guys scrimmed against while you guys were there?
We scrimmed against some Southeast Asian teams. I can't remember the names though. Netherlands team, 5ASC. I think we would have scrimmed Adfinem as well, but the internet went out when we were gonna play them as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we scrimmed we tried to scrim teams from every region. I think we scrimmed South America, maybe one North America. I can't remember. Europe, SEA, and obviously Australia, just to get a feel for every region.
Did you have much success against them, or?
I think we didn't lose. No, I think we lost one game in Europe. The rest we won. The South American teams we all beat. The Southeast Asian teams were like by far the hardest to play against. Their playstyle was really different. That was the teams that were the hardest.
What do you think of all the things you learned, which one did you least expect to learn? Like, what's what brand new knowledge did you come from those scrims?
From the scrims, I remember after the first day, because I went in thinking we were gonna beat Romania, right? I thought we were definitely the better team on paper and as a team, and people didn't agree in the team obviously, but after the scrims and after we played all these good teams, everyone was feeling it. Everyone was okay, yeah, we're gonna win this game, we can do this. It's not just they're that much better. And then we beat that game, but yeah, even after everything, I still didn't think we had a chance against Payne or Keen. Unfortunately, those two teams are just another level.
Of those two teams, you wasn't that just before? Was Tomato still on Payne then?
No, he wasn't there.
But I think there was there's a universe where I think you can beat Payne, but Keen was gonna be rough.
It's funny because before we came, me and Castaway we had a whiteboard and we drew up all the teams and gave every team a rating, tier 1, tier 2, whatever. And I think we had 6 tier 1 teams, and Payne and Keen were 2 of them which we rated. And the tier 2 teams were the teams we could beat, etc. It's just gonna be hard, and that was Romania, the Netherlands. And then tier 3 and tier 4, we didn't have a single one in our group, so it was just a bit unfortunate.
Yeah,
that is super unlucky. I mean, you guys did us proud, man. The way you guys beat Romania, that game was such an epic.
That game was pretty hype. Everyone was really happy after we won as well. It was really nice.
I can imagine. And now, a question that always came to my mind was when, obviously you guys were winning in SA for a lot of times. You guys started playing the EU tournaments and stuff, doing okay, and even your WESG performance is a sign of that. But if you guys had a sort of opportunity like the Bravado CSGO teams had, where you can go to an overseas place, live in a gaming house for a year and play on that low ping, what have your guys' thoughts in the team would have been for that kind of situation?
I think it's the biggest waste in esports that we didn't go overseas last year or the last 2 years. I think if we had the bootcamp or if we lived overseas for 6 months or so, we could have came maybe top 4 at WSG for sure. I think we would have made it out of groups, but yeah. Wasted opportunities. It sucks. We didn't have the opportunity to go, I guess. So yeah, but everyone in the team would have gone for sure. Everyone was good.
Because I mean, obviously you get these high name, big name players like Bone7 and Weeha and stuff, and you look at them and oh wow, they're so good and stuff. But when you guys went there and you showed us just playing as a team together and having that synergy, and obviously you guys are great players yourselves. You guys just showed you have that potential to actually do great things overseas as well. So it would have been a great opportunity if you guys had the chance to go.
I feel we improved a lot in the first 2 days, just scrimming on good teams on low ping. We improved so much just from 2 days of practice. That's why we felt if we had an opportunity, it might have gone better. But oh well.
Yeah, it's rough. I think that's actually the biggest deal. Obviously the ping and stuff obviously is really bad here, right? But just the fact that you don't have the opportunity to play against opposition like the WASG scale, we've probably never played against a team as good as Keen Gaming or Payne Gaming before.
Yeah, for sure. Day, right? Not even in any scrims, not ESL, no open qualifiers. Those 2 teams that's the best South American team, and arguably the Keen Gaming team could have definitely came top 4 if they didn't verse Payne again in the quarterfinals of WSG. Yeah, that's the only team they lost to. So no, it's good teams. Not a whole lot you can do.
Speaking of the international thing now, after Travis went over, do you see yourself ever doing a similar type of move?
I'm not sure. Probably not. I don't think I would ever go on my own just for Dota. But yeah, I think if there were opportunity for a team to go, I would do it. But solo, probably not.
So what you're saying is we should look forward for the Dream League Pro.
Let's hope, dude. Let's hope.
Yeah, right. Speaking of League Pro, actually, what's what's different in terms of? I think we were once talking about this on the podcast, one of the episodes earlier, about the lack of captains, really, a lack of leadership more broadly in SA Dota. And you were sort of like, you were in a sense WRG, and I don't think it's now with that being different. You're on Lead Pro. Has anything changed in terms of how the team functions, leadership, drafting, shot calling, etc.? How does it function on Lead Pro versus on WRG?
Well, on WRG it was a lot more. I didn't have to do too much because you had like in SA games you had like really talented players, right? So you just like draft normal lanes and you can expect everyone to do better than they should. But now in Lead Pro we have like 3 new players that I haven't played. We haven't even scrimmed yet. We're gonna start scrimming soon. So we haven't even gone into practice yet. But like these players are still like really good. Like I can trust. Like I can sack RDK in his lane and he'll do better than he should. So it's really nice. But it's hard. Like I don't know the people too well yet. I don't even know myself, my own role pretty well yet. So still trying to figure it out.
Can you see yourself in a situation where you would like change how, like in terms of the leadership, right? Could you see yourself in a situation where you split some of the responsibilities with someone else on the team, or do you still think you just need time to figure it out and then it'll be
probably
fine?
not. No, I think I'll just stay captain. Like it's not I don't make all the calls at all. Charles is pretty helpful in that. He's like, we're the 2 supports, so the early game is like on us, like the first 15 minutes or whatever. And we usually have like the same thing in mind with like, what do you want to do? So it makes it easy to have like a second opinion, just backing you up.
Would you ever play on a team where you were the captain actually at this point?
I would find it hard. I wouldn't mind it but I think I would struggle a bit. But I wouldn't mind it at all. I think be like a vice captain. I think it'll be a lot of responsibility gone, and that would be nice.
I mean, in SA it would be hard for you, right? Because like you have to sort of value somebody else's opinion more than your own.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's kind of hard if you're like captain. You have to like sometimes ignore other people's opinions just because and it's a hard thing to do. I don't like doing it, but sometimes you have to just value your own opinion more than anyone else's.
It's a fair point.
When AGG is crying for that Pangolier pick and you don't want to pick it.
Then I give him Viper or something and say good luck.
Say have fun, bro.
Great.
I feel like that's kind of also, well, in my opinion, I feel like Lead Pro like kind of steps and steps ahead of any SA team at the moment. I feel like it's kind of like for you guys kind of get like trapped in not taking things seriously, like you said,
maybe.
you can almost pick anything you want, which is actually quite nice to hear that you guys actually haven't started scrimming yet, so you guys can develop new strategies and
all the new things. I've had quite a lot of internet issues like since I came back from China. I think I've played 10 ranked games in total, so I've been having like some mad internet issues, but I got LTE now, so it's a little bit better. Maybe we'll start scrimming. Yay.
That is cool.
Yeah.
On your team though, on Lead Pro right now, something else I was gonna ask. Oh wait, but you haven't been scrimming yet, shit. So I can't ask the question. Never mind.
You can probably still ask.
No, I was gonna say like, what is it? How do you anticipate things looking post game? Like after your games, where you guys are talking about the game in terms of how the individuals there are gonna process information and see the game. Because obviously everyone has different visions about Dota.
Yeah, that's true.
It's extremely different teams right now, and a lot older players as well. Like people have been around longer, I guess, on Lead Pro right now, especially like RDK and ACG. So you'll have varying perspectives on how to approach this game. So what do you anticipate it being like in Lead Pro?
Well, like I've never been one to like just solely value my opinion. I usually like listening to everyone's opinion, especially after the game, about what we should have done. And I think everyone is pretty relaxed in the sense that they can like accept criticism and make changes. So I don't think there'll be like issues with trying to improve, but there's still quite a lot of issues, like base issues. But we'll sort it all out before the ballistics land in like, what is it? Less than a month? Yeah,
it's like next month or something.
Yeah.
The ballistics land, it should be a good one.
Yeah,
it's interesting organization for the tournament. Looking forward to it. I'm going to be there as well, of course.
I think it's going to be a tight land, probably the tightest in like 3 years.
I also think so. Like speaking to the Five as well today, speaking to them, like I just was straight up, like I'm like, yo, you guys in WRG, you guys gonna need to step up, otherwise Lead Pro is just gonna run away with this thing. And Evo was like, yeah, man, the team's gonna be training hard from tomorrow. They'll be putting in the work. I was like, that's good to hear.
Even that Epoch team, I don't know, dude. They could probably take a few games off teams.
I seriously think Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Go
just
say it,
play him
Bob. You
straight
say
up.
it.
Yeah?
You say it. You say it.
I think
Come on, Bob,
Hari,
yeah.
their coach, is like an utter retard.
Oh,
I think
if
if they got a good coach, they'd be really good because they make like basic errors.
yeah, they make
map
really big
movement
fundamental
errors.
mistakes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
like
that.
map movement errors are the worst. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Snoops is like you can't carry a game either.
Yeah.
He can't carry. Like he makes late game mistakes all the time, and I feel like no one's even telling him that. It's just like simple fixes, you know. It's not like nothing extremely complex, but yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. In my opinion, that Epoch team, it actually looks good. Like, they show, like, real signs of, like, promise, right? Even against N5, yesterday, it was a 2-0 game, but, like, at times you were like, wow, these guys, they can beat N5 right now. But I don't know, like, Snoops just doesn't feel at the same level as the rest of his team in terms of how he's playing in the games, right? The impact he has in the games. I haven't been impressed. Like, I'm not, like, great at reading map movements and stuff, but I feel like sometimes a bit slow on rotation, like stays in the safe lane farming for like 15-20 minutes. Like, you can't be doing things like that.
I think that's still on the draft as well. I think everyone just drafts so slowly. It's pretty weird. Like, everyone plays these slow games and it just makes it easy to play against. But maybe Hari will figure it out. I don't know. He was their coach.
Yeah, but he's like an ancient player.
Yeah,
you need to be reasonably good at Dota to be a coach.
Right?
Yeah. So
Are you gonna go coach then, Bob?
In ancient, less than
God.
divine, it's like you don't even know how to play Dota. What are you doing?
Bob, would you ever consider coaching like SA Dota teams and stuff?
Probably not. It would be interesting though.
Dude, I would do it for sure. If someone paid me, dude, yeah, sure.
I would have to coach a master team because I don't think I'd be able to coach like a first team. I mean, I'm not very good
like
on
a master
basic
team. Let's say
mechanics.
Epoch came to you and would be like, you know, we're tired of this Hari fellow. Somebody on some random podcast called him a retard. Can you come coach our team?
Yeah, I definitely would actually. I'm a big Nick fan. Nick Kick. Whatever you guys want to call
not the other Nick.
Oh, Nick. Yeah,
he's a very
There's only one true Nick, dude.
Yeah, I know. He's very he's got a good temperament, you know, good attitude. And I feel like he's actually
really
quite smart. Yeah.
Alright, Bob. Help me up here. Who's your most underrated player in the SA scene, and who's your most overrated player? And then I will ask the same for Ryan as well.
Most
Thanks
underrated.
No, but you're only telling us. We know that the most overrated is always Adam for you. It's true.
No, it's most underrated is probably Mental because I played with him.
Oh yeah, I also think that guy's good, like legit.
He's just not. He hasn't got the like platform yet. He's getting there. Most overrated must be gotta be someone in the top 3, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be someone top 3.
I know Bob's thinking.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure actually. It's actually probably Darren.
Oh, Darren.
But he's actually good when he wants to be. So I actually don't know.
Alright, some diplomacy from Bob Yules, very unexpected. Chidowi, what you got, bro?
Underrated. I don't really know the lower players that well. I guess Mental as well. Like I didn't think of anyone, but he's pretty good. He reached like calibrated immortal, I think.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he's like probably one of the better players in SA.
He calibrated on the first night. Sorry to interrupt you there. He calibrated on the first night, and he was like ranked 48 in the world because he calibrated before anybody else. It was quite funny.
What a player.
He's a titan. Overrated? I don't know, dude. I don't rate anyone, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, that was actually my. That's what I wanted to say.
I knew you were thinking that as well.
Yeah.
No. No one can be overrated for all trash.
That's true.
No. What about you, Kaameel? I was talking with you, dog. So who do you think?
Most overrated or underrated player? I would probably say Nick from Epoch, actually. I think, but nowadays he actually gets a lot of recognition. I honestly, maybe I say Darren is actually Chelsea's the most underrated player. I think that guy is really good at Dota. Most overrated player. No, you put the Ada stamp thing in my head, but I don't think he's actually overrated. I just think he has a very the way he picks heroes is like really weird. He only plays like 3 heroes at a time, which I don't like. Overrated player. Damn, I can't think of anybody.
It's hard, right?
Right.
I know.
Like, nobody rates everybody in SA. Everybody's like, oh, this guy's trash. I'm way better than him, all that kind of stuff.
I love SA.
Most overrated players easily, guys. It was So now it's easier to say it's definitely has to be Chidowi, right? Now it's easy because he's playing support. But on WRG, most overrated player, if Chidowi is not playing Bat Rider, super overrated.
Actually, wait, my most underrated player is actually Chidowi. Because people used to always shit talk that guy because he never played ranked, he never did anything. Bob always like, oh, Chidowi's draft is so bad. But I'm telling you, Chidowi, he's a mad genius actually. Because you look at his draft and you're like, is this guy actually like, does he have a problem in his brain or something? And then he comes out and then he just works and you're like, okay, wait, this guy's actually really clever. He knows what he's doing.
But the works is you got the best players in the country.
Nah, dude, Bob's whack. I used to listen back to the cast, and I just hear often like, oh, this is so outdrafted, and there's like a 13-minute win, and I'm like, what?
You got like the best players in the country, dude. It's not fair.
Then I just close the stream, dude. I'm done. I'm getting flamed.
From Chidowi, I learned. So when I play ranked nowadays, I play offlane, and I learned from Chidowi that dying 5 times in lane doesn't.
Nah, it doesn't matter, dude. You just feed as many times as you want, especially on support as well.
And sometimes you can tactically feed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Chidowi, the South African old 11, her snap.
Yeah, dude. Kill me.
Exactly, bro.
So in terms of drafting process, like, I mean, you kind of like the most notable captain in South Africa for the past 2 years, you know. But I would say actually full stop. You know, I threw the shade earlier about being the second best team in SA. But what is your kind of process when you're trying to draft heroes for when you're picking heroes playing against certain teams or just drafting in general? What's your opinions on it?
It's hard to say. I don't want to get into too much detail, but I think teams are doing like the fundamentals wrong. Like everyone is just picking 2 supports first, then you pick your 2 offlane and your offlane and your safe lane. Everyone's doing everything like so boring. You can pick a core, you can pick your pos 1 like first pick, and it doesn't matter if you just like play around it. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's just about like securing strong lanes. That's the whole meta. Like if you have the stronger lanes, you're probably gonna win.
When was the last time that you felt you were on a team that was outdrafted in SA? Or you played a game in SA that you felt like, yo, legit, we were hella outdrafted in that situation?
I guess when we played WSG qualifiers, the BBD, the game 1, the Trent, and the last pick SD from Habibi. The last pick SD kind of like won them the game. So that was like really nice. Felt kind of good.
But then they proceeded to run jug mid for 3 games in a row afterwards.
Then we just banned Trent and the game was... And didn't give Shaw
the game got really easy after that.
Yeah, counted Frank.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I actually have a tip for all the drafters out there. So in the hero pool that you pick from, all the hero portraits, there's some things under there called Nuker, Disabler, I'm not even joking, Durable, and you look at those and you think, what does my draft need? And you click on those buttons and you see the heroes, dude. And then all of a sudden, you got a draft.
Or you just pick stuns. Like, as soon as a new patch lands, I'm not even kidding, in WLG, we just like picked 5 stuns if we didn't know what was good. And we won every game like that. Like, you just pick as many stuns as you can and you'll probably do fine.
Now I'm starting to think about it, right? So there must be, is there some kind of correlation or is there a skill ceiling that you need to be at before you can actually start actively running teams without stuns? It's like, alright, what's the minimum MMR before you can reasonably start winning games without any stuns in your lineup?
It's sometimes like easier to win those games. I don't know why. But like I remember we used to always try to have at least 1 stun or 2 stuns just because people just TP away. But you can definitely run drafts without stuns at all. There's no like
you can.
prerequisite. You just need to be good. Just win the lanes and you'll do fine.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like what's the minimum amount of goodness required before it's like, okay, when you're like, yeah, it's acceptable, but if you're not at least this good, pick 3 stuns, bro.
I don't think that's an answerable question. Because it depends on who you're playing against.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah.
Eastern 5 or better, and then you can do that. That's the SA answer. I think they can pull it off.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So on the Sinister 5 topic, what do you guys like? I feel like Sinister 5 have been picking the same heroes since January, right? I was watching the draft yesterday and I'm like, this is the same things they were picking in WESG. You think that's like fine what they're doing, or you think you're coming into a game and you're like, okay, you know there's going to be first pick Traxio and Chen?
They just need to first pick Adestam's hero and last pick Dota and Die's hero, and they'll probably win every game. It's that simple. Like Dota and Die is the best player on that team on the offlane, like hands down, I think. And him and Aghanim just play around those 2 players, but they're not playing around them at all, so it feels pretty weird.
Dota and Die is one of the most underrated.
Yeah, he's my underrated.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But only on offlane.
Only on offlane.
I mean, I think he's doing pretty well on offlane now. Before, when he used to be offlane, I was not a fan of it, but I think he's much better now. Like, he's looking good.
So, if you had to go back at Sin5's recent games, I know they're very active on social media, and they post all their games on there. There are trends in their drafts, and there are hero counter trends in their drafts. So, for instance, if you pick an Underlord, they went through a phase where they would just pick OD in the safe lane against Underlord. It happened for like 5 games in a row. Or if you, I mean, that was like the most obvious one. And it was just like, it was always Axe, Beastmaster, or Brewmaster every single game. And if you're a team and you see these things and you're a captain, you pick up this stuff in the draft and you prepare, like last night when WG played against Sin5.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They probably knew Brewmaster pick was coming, and Brewmaster did absolutely nothing the whole game. And you can't have your pos 3 like not doing something. So I think they need to like reconsider their drafting approach.
Yeah, we even just have the lane. Like, lane it.
Yeah, all that, right?
I remember that game last night. What was it? The third game. They're like, what did they last pick? They last picked the Weaver against the Batrider, right? And then Kaameel.
Yeah. That you can't.
I just remember they should have just picked Nick's last pick, and they would have won the game so easily. I was like, it was pretty sad to see.
And they had 2 cores as well that game, right?
They could have put Leshko, and it would have been like a super free next game. He had like 3 heroes he counters and stuff. It was interesting.
That's my point, though, right? Like they see a Batrider and they
pick Weaver.
Yeah, and they think
instead of picking Weaver a support that like counters 2 cores.
My issue with the Sin5 pick is like, right, the ones that you're picking a lot of open picks like Sand King, Clockwork, like those kind of heroes, right? But they pick these heroes, but you know, Traxian or whoever was playing the Sand King at that point is going to be playing that Sand King every game in, game out, right?
Yeah.
So you're picking open picks now to start off your draft, but it's not open at all.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of agree with your point on the Adestamp hero, right? Because if he's picking heroes like, okay, again, like he's playing Kunkka at the moment, so you could first phase a Kunkka, right?
Yeah, you could. You should as well, for sure.
Easily. He matches up good against anything mid, and obviously, again, it should be a versatile pick. Spars 4 can play it, then you can always swap that roller as well.
Like, Adestamp is good at those heroes. I'm not even like
he's very
joking.
Good, like,
he should be like the Matumba man of whatever. Sun 5.
I haven't seen a game played like even including like when you guys used to play against them and stuff where Adestamp just goes to a mid lane and loses his mid lane. Like you always get a certain amount in that lane. Like even against Deppy in the Sinister 5 Lead Pro LAN, he beat Deppy mid in both those games. I know they lost those matches, and I know winning mid doesn't mean everything, but still a certain level of like consistency you can expect from Adestamp's play.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's different though when it's first or second pick, right? Because I feel like their drafting style works for when you have first pick, and they can just lane counter like matchup wise. And then, but when they have second pick, I feel like they struggle a lot.
I think they should just let Aghanim go mid as well some games.
Yeah, they can't afford.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty because like if you just know this guy's always going to go mid, it's really easy to lane your lanes. And like WRG did that really well last night. They put like the Wraith King off lane with like another support, and they ended up having like 3 winning lanes or 3 nice lanes.
And the thing is, Aghanim has reached a stage where he's versatile enough to sort of swap like that.
Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new WRG?
They're still good. I just think they need to practice a bit.
They need
but
practice.
They are coming. Yeah, like Nick and Odu are still like 2 top tier players, and I think TKC is also like a really good player. I think he's actually like a really good player. I don't know the other 2 that well. I haven't played with them, but those 3 are really good.
Just felt like they lack good decision making.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, it was evident in last night's game. Well, they don't understand their lineups. They had a fight around the mid lane in the middle, like in the river with a DP. DP just popped ulti and didn't walk into rush. Like
I remember that. And also they had like it was like super late and what is it? The Lycan or some hero was dead without buyback. They just didn't go in or something like that. Or they got
you don't have to revive me.
And it was like another, and that's like how you lose games. That's the way to lose games if you just don't push your advantage. But I'm sure that'll come with time for sure.
This new WRG lineup, like I think to me on paper it looks really strong, right? You have 5 previously well-known players. You have like 2 ex-WRG like old players there still. TKC also looking really good, but I feel like they lack an idea of how they want to play. Like Chidowi, the mad genius, when he's picking heroes, like he knows what he needs to do with these heroes. I feel like the side of WRG, I still I think draft there's a few holes, but also still, like you said, the understanding of what you want to do in the game is not completely there.
Maybe, yeah. But he's a good player though. He'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure he will.
I think so as well.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of WRG, we can go have a little throwback.
Yeah.
And there were rumors around the WRG team breaking up for a year and a half now, I would say. Since like last year, EGE.
Oh yeah.
Can you give us some insight into those rumors?
It's mostly to do with like Travis going overseas, and then like might as well do something new. We've been together for so long. It gets like, no offense, it gets boring. It gets boring like to win like that. It's obviously LANs are different, but just like online games get boring and everyone wants something new. I want a new role for no reason at all. So I'm not sure. I don't know if it's that long. Maybe it has been a year and a half. Yeah.
Was there like some clash in your guys' ambitions? Maybe Travis wanted to go overseas and some of you didn't, or was that not
really
the case?
No, not really. It was just he had the funding to go overseas, we didn't. So it's just like, why not? If he could go, like none of us are gonna stop him. There's no point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if we had the opportunity, we would have gone as well.
When are you gonna start playing? Are you gonna start playing IO as well? Honestly, who's gonna play that? Who's gonna be your IO player on your team?
I'm the IO player, dude. What are you on about?
Didn't you see the game with the Deso Mjolnir Satanic?
The last
I
game
didn't
1v9?
What?
Or 2v9 rather.
It was me and Welp. It was when I still was in WRG. I just said, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna play some support to practice. And me and Welp just did the IO Wisp, or IO Gyro rather.
Oh yeah, the gyro. It
was disgusting. It was a fight against Lead Pro. Lead Pro were like looking good in that game, right? That game was coming down to the wire with like 50 minutes in. Lead Pro started off a fight. They clean up all three of WRG's other heroes. They're like, okay, we're good, we got this. Then next thing you just see, Gyro tethers Io tethers Gyro, Black Cannon comes out, everybody dies.
Yeah, everyone in the TeamSpeak had a good lol. It was pretty funny.
Lol.
Now we worked that whole game farming up that Mjolnir and Satanic. It was funny.
That's hilarious. So they're not gonna see it every game, bro. Okay, that shit
the
needs
hero
to be
gets
nerfed
boring.
as well.
I don't know. I haven't played it in a while. I think it's like not that great, to be honest. I don't think it's amazing anymore. You just pick 2 stuns against it and probably doesn't have a lane.
Or is this the IO you're talking about?
Yeah, IO.
What did they nerf the previous patch? They nerfed the spirits,
damage, movement speed,
the
of
damage,
tether.
MS. Yeah,
They changed
and the talents
as well.
the talents. Yeah, the talents changed around. One got nerfed like to the ground. Yeah, actually, now I think about it, like.
But people
And
still pick it
Gyro's
though.
flack disappeared as well.
Yeah.
Man, that
they
is a
just took it
sad
off all the
one.
way. I was fine with it, dude. That hero was so boring to watch sometimes. Like when you see it every game, it's like, okay.
Everyone first picks it. You can't do too much against it.
I'm still surprised Gyro's being picked in the qualifiers.
Yeah, that's what I said, Bob.
I don't think the
he's a
hero's very good.
dumpster now.
I think like if it's a good game for like if you listen like Undying or something, it's pretty good. But you can't just pick it for no reason.
All right, can agree with that.
Yeah.
No longer a first pick hero.
Thank the Lord.
Thank God. Who's winning TI?
Wait, who's even playing? Look.
You can't predict.
The usual suspects.
It's a China year actually, so LGD is the favorite, so they won't win it. So some random Chinese team.
VP's gonna break the streak, dude.
Is VP gonna break the streak, bro?
Maybe.
Yo.
I believe in them.
I think that team is like it's not fair. They're way too good. Like all 5 of their players are probably the best in their roles, or like near the best.
Everyone's a top 3 player in every role.
That's for sure. Like
I think I rate Ramses as the best carry.
Yeah.
I think
Ramses
no one, a lot of people rate him the best mid.
Hold up. Before you even go down the list, right? Hold up. Is Ramses better than Paparazzi, bro?
Yes.
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 Yeah, never mind. I like Paparazzi, but Ramses is
because
Paparazzi is like, you see, the difference between, let me tell you, I'm going to bring up Paparazzi, Miracle, and Ramses here. You see, Paparazzi's and Ramses, Paparazzi and Miracle, Miracle just actually doesn't apply to him because he plays everything. But Paparazzi's, you only play the hero that's going to like win you the game. They pick him this hard carry, right? Whereas Ramses, they can pick him this carry that runs at you the whole time, the most active thing ever. Or you can pick him like a Spectre or a Sven or something that, okay, nobody just sits and farms on VP, but he can play both. And he's exceptional on both of them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also,
And the
more,
crazy thing is he still farms on those like space creators.
Oh yeah, for sure.
and
I
then
think
Ramsey
Ramsey-
doesn't have a support that's gonna feed him and lose in the game. Doesn't have London on his team.
Yeah. I think
I
like
think
Ramses
Roger-
is like one of the reasons WG VP does so well. Like they usually put him in like an unfavorable lane, but he still comes out ahead. I don't know if you guys seen it. He'll like
Yeah.
play a solo Slark against like an Axe something dual lane, and he'll still kill someone eventually, or like get farm. It's really nice to watch.
I don't remember
he's
the last time I
insane.
saw Ramses lose a lane.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
I'm sure it was against Optic. He lost the lane there, I'm sure. He was like a DP or something.
Did they lose the game?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Because no one got it.
Yeah.
no one is so good as well.
Freaking, I think Roger is like, I think him and GH, I don't know who to pick who's the best possible in the world. Those guys are on another level. Have you ever
That's
seen Roger
Roger.
have a bad
Roger,
game?
dude. Roger
Roger.
is wow, what a god.
He plays anything, eh? He just plays anything.
And actually, yeah, you're right. It's not fair. All right, pick fair teams. Teams that are still
I
on
think-
this universe.
I agree with you, Snare, in saying that this LGD team is fucking amazing. I think
Yeah,
the
they
dual
are.
core of Arme plus maybe is like top tier. Like
They have
honestly,
Chalice, right? Chalice is
They
the
have
Chalice,
as
yeah,
well.
Chalice
Yeah,
in the
he
whole
plays
thing.
like any hero. It's like he plays
Yeah.
Bloodseekers, like Lycans. It's really cool
Yeah.
to watch.
No, Chalice is really, really good. Like for a long time, because we weren't getting invited to events, then we have to grind through basically all the China qualifiers, which kind of sucks because that meant like there were no different Chinese teams. It's basically just them and Vici the whole time. But you just like, and especially in the lower tier games, the beginning of playoff brackets, where they feel more free to pick different heroes. And Chalice's hero pool is really, really deep, even on heroes that aren't really traditional offlaners.
Offlaners, yeah.
Wasn't it him that started actually playing the trend of the Lycan Bloodseekers offlane, like when you just
I
need the
think it
hero?
was him or 33. 33 also does that.
yeah.
That's
Like
different though. I think with 3-3 is also. I don't think 3-3 is actually their offlaner.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
His role is weird. So yeah, but
That
I think
guy's
he's purely
really,
in
really
offlane.
good.
Yeah, he is Optic's
really
best
good.
player in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
Guy's
so.
a
as well.
monster.
He's
Him and
really good.
Pycat.
Yeah, he is better than Pycat.
Pycat is like a very consistent carry as well. But what was I gonna say about that at LGD?
Oh, the
yeah,
LGD.
they can pick like such weird stuff. Like they pick like tricore, right? They'll pick like a razor or something off, and you're like, oh, this is kind of greedy, and then they just pick it where their lanes are just so strong, and then they win. And then even if the lanes are like maybe they'll give him the worst matchups ever, but that guy, he doesn't care. He'll be tied at CS at the end of the lane. Oh, you solo killed the guy. Oh, it's just like crazy, man.
Guys, what a guy. There's actually a lot of really good Dota players right now.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
think, in my opinion, I don't think Dota is like how it used to be before when Samir would just go mid and like completely
Yeah.
shit on a guy or something. I don't think that will ever happen again. Like even, let's say like a team like King when they mid play is like 9.5k MMR. Like, damn, everybody's just so good now.
I mean, Travis or Castaway did well against Weed, then you should know. Lanes don't matter. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I love that guy.
Oh, hilarious.
I hope he does well in SCA, like honestly.
I also hope he does.
I don't know if you would know this, Chidowi, but do you know if he had any like prior talks with any of the teams like you guys scrimmed against, or like any placement team, or is he just going there YOLO solo?
I think he knows a few people around there.
Alright.
Scan's also there.
Okay.
And yeah, he knows a few people, but I think for now he just wants to get his MMR up to the
Right.
point where he feels like he's good. Then he'll probably look for a team.
That's
Uh,
correct.
My approach.
Who do you guys think is of the three guys, the three SA dudes over there playing, who do you think is most likely to find success first?
Bob, you go first.
Ah, so- I mean, that's such a hard question to answer.
Yes, it
I feel
is.
like
That's why I put you first.
I think a lot of it depends on like the connections they have. I mean, Mark's relatively had success. He's been putting in like a pretty good team already. Obviously, they
He's
didn't
like
do
in a
too
team
well.
house now at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't qualify for the regional, so
That's true.
I mean that's instant disband. So
True.
sure. But he's been exposed to that level, which I feel like Donnie and Travis haven't been exposed to yet, or maybe Donnie was exposed to it previously. So hopefully he's. I would say he's in the front runner at the moment.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think Castaway, because I think like a WESG and all his performances, I think he's probably like kind of noticed already. So he has a known name. So maybe post TI, you probably find himself in a team, right? But I do think, I will say But I see my boy Filthy Frank. He might come home now after TI, whatever, rest or whatever. But that man will make it as a Pro Dota player. I have no doubt. Yeah. He's got the dedication. He's got the skill. And he's just got, like, the way he thinks about the game is, like, always, like, forward thinking. How to improve all the time. And he plays a lot of Dota. He's a monster, man. I'm a big Frank fan.
I wish them the best. I want my boy Castaway to succeed, though.
I think it may be harder to succeed in a core role as well.
Yeah, I don't think he'll play necessarily just mid. Maybe pos 4, maybe pos 1. You never know.
Yo, change it up.
Yeah.
We're coming to like near the close here at the end of this podcast. Final thoughts from any of you guys about
Bob, what do you think the England Tunisia? Give me a rundown. What's the score?
Probably like 1-0 to England. Dude.
Okay.
Exciting game. Chidowi?
2-0 England.
Not the score for. Is that your final thoughts?
That has to be the final thing.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, what done? Harry Kane, 2-season wonder.
Ooh.
Wow.
Harry Kane's like a 10-season wonder.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's a bit more than 2.
Throw you and Bob off this podcast with that level of toxicity.
Oh, England just scored.
Oh, did he score?
Yeah.
Lol. That's hilarious, actually.
Thank you everybody for tuning in and goodbye.
Cheers.